Today I learned that Willie, a parrot, alerted its owner, Megan Howard, when the toddler she was babysitting began to choke. Megan was in the bathroom. The parrot began screaming "Mama, baby" while flapping its wings as the child turned blue. Megan rushed over and performed the Heimlich, saving the girl's life. A parrot has been honored by the Red Cross for saving the life of a toddler in Denver, Colorado. It was Willie's cries of alarm which alerted his owner that the toddler she was babysitting was choking on her breakfast. Megan Howard, who was the toddler's babysitter, had left the room last November when the Quaker parrot noticed something was amiss with Hannah and began to raise the alarm by repeatedly yelling "Mama, baby" and flapping his wings. Megan then dashed back to find the little girl turning blue and performed the Heimlich maneuver. This first aid procedure involves dislodging an obstruction from a person's windpipe by applying a sudden strong pressure to the abdomen. However, at the Animal Lifesaver Awards ceremony held by the Red Cross chapter in Denver, Colorado, Megan said Willie is the real hero. Hannah's mother, Samantha Quask, said, "The part where she turned blue is always when my heart drops, no matter how many times I've heard it. My heart drops in my stomach and I get all teary-eyed." Willie got his award during a Breakfast of Champions event attended on Friday by Governor Bill Ritter and Mayor John Hickenlooper.
Here's what the Redditors of TIL had to say about this.
Sinistred with the top comment, says, "In less heartwarming but hilarious news, when I was a teenager we had family friends who owned 2 parakeets or something similar. They were a mated pair. When the male was boinking the female, he'd screech 'pretty bird, pretty bird,' and alternate with catcall whistles the entire time." BRB 9911 replies, "I too do this." _crazy_Earl says, "I love the way parrots are both social and affectionate creatures, and able to communicate their affection in limited human language. People can argue that animals aren't capable of love the way we are, but at least that one knows how to treat your woman right." Blueshadeston replies, "Who's arguing animals aren't capable of love in the same way we are? Sure, we can reason our love a lot more, but it's foolish to presume we're so different from animals we don't have similar emotions, especially love, which is extremely evident in dogs if you ask me." Burko81 says, "In what I can only assume is a complete show of dominance, my cockatiel humps his perch while staring at me, then upon completion will whistle a tune to celebrate his accomplishment." Rugged_as_fuck responds, "See, I just don't think I'd want a caged animal, with the intelligence of a human child, spewing jizz all over the place as it looks me dead in the eye. Then, as if that wasn't humiliating enough, I have to clean his liquidy shit off the wall. You're not the dominant one in that scenario. Call me crazy." Trailer_trash_lottery says, "I had lovebirds and they would have sex when the cage was covered. You could hear the male just squealing, and when you pulled the cover off, it would do this weird thing with its neck and stare at you, while it was still on the other bird's back." Mo_Arise explains their story. "Reminds me of a story our neighbor told me. She saw a parakeet outside her window. This is in a city, so it must have escaped from someone's home. She'd had birds before, so she tried to lure the little fellow to come inside. She's a respectable middle-aged lady at the time this happened. So she's sticking her head out of the second-story window, calling 'pretty boy, come here,' and making kissy noises to the bird, to try to get him to come inside. Only to have some guy on the street turn around in total shock thinking she's catcalling him." D. Valeroth says, "Meanwhile, my friend's parrot just makes noises. Weird as fuck when you're just minding your own business and you hear the sound of Mario descending a green pipe." Milky replies, "My cockatiel can basically only sings the Mario theme song. Except he's butchered it so badly you can barely even tell that's what it is unless someone tells you that's what he's doing. It's basically like his own shitty remixed version." The Sad Salsa replies, "Our cockatiel used to know the Colonel Bogey March, and as he gets older it gets more and more messed up too." Milky again responds, "The worst part is he occasionally has me going too, and then I need to remind myself what the actual song is. I've been trying to get him to do the Old Spice whistle for years now. Little fucker has only ever done it once while I was in the kitchen cooking and refuses to do it again." Navy Roses 1105 says, "My family has an African grey as well. When he sees us putting on our coats or just getting ready to go out the door, he'll tell us that he'll see you later. However, if we don't leave quick enough, he'll repeat it in an increasingly annoyed tone, since apparently we're not leaving in a timely tone." Very Retro says, I own an Amazon parrot and they really do bond to you. It's amazing. Learned to dismiss the misconception that birds don't show much emotion to humans after 6 months with my little guy who never leaves my side anymore and cuddles with me at night. Edit. Since this is blowing up, if you're interested in getting a parrot, head over to r/parrots and read up and ask lots of questions. It's important to learn before committing. Steel Roma responds. My green cheek flies to me every time I get home and sings in my ear to show how happy she is that I'm home. Then she bites my ear to remind me to not leave again. Also yeah, many times I've left her cage open when going to bed and woke up to a parrot cuddled under my neck or arm. Always share for IUTLs. I own a Quaker. They are the most grumpiest little shits, but they are so clever. Zazu knows how to wind me up and how to get attention. They are the most lovable little cheeky rouges who will do anything to get their own way, and they are extremely loyal. To anyone thinking of getting one, beware. They live up to 30 years in captivity and are worse than a kid. They need constant attention and love and you can never have a day off. Some talk while others don't, so if you are getting one to chat, to be mindful it may never talk back. It takes them years to get settled into a home and get comfortable, and they are extremely noisy. Mine screams if he isn't getting enough attention. You have to be careful what products you use to cook and clean, as they are very sensitive to their surroundings. If this still has not put you off, please seek rescuing a bird, not buying. Oh, and make sure they are legal in your area. Frida_Claxton replies. My brother had one that knew that swear words weren't supposed to be spoken loudly because of the children. He would climb on your shoulder and softly whisper in your ear, "Son of a bitch." Benj Drugan says. I had a Quaker for 25 years. He knew over 50 words and phrases and would use some of them at the proper times. When it came time to cover his cage at night, he would start saying, "It's bedtime. Go to bed. Good night." He would repeat that until I covered his cage. When he was on my shoulder and had to poop, he would peck my cheek lightly, then say, "Cage, go back." I would take him back to his cage. He would do his business while saying, "Go poo-poo." They are very smart birds. I once saw 2 of them in a pet store work together to let one of them escape from a cage. The Clarks said they did that all of the time. They can be very loving, but as has stated, very noisy and demanding of attention. Think of how a 2 to 3-year-old child is.
Thanks for watching. Today I learned by the Reddit King. Please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.